Welcome to this lecture. Now in the previous lecture we saw a couple of examples that is going to execute our payload, and basically we saw how we can just execute this message command or getting the prompt box in the client, and we also saw how we can just open that web browser with the site that we passed from the server. So next in this lecture we are going to take a screenshot and we are going to send that screenshot into the server. So let's get into it. So first of all, you have to just open your Kali, which is our server, and now if you see here, there is the main menu over here. So that must be where is right here, so which is going to just give us which command to be executed in the client. So here I want to just add another command that is going to just get the picture for us. So that command will be elif. So first of all, you have to see that string choice, that is basically the command the user or the server want to execute on the client, and if that command is p, which is for picture, so I'll just say p, then I have to now get the screenshot from this screenshot method. We haven't created this method, so let's create that first. So I'll just create over here. So that should be, maybe let me just create after this multi-threading or before multi-threading. So here I want to create that screenshot, so let me see how we can just do it. So first of all, I'll just say screenshot, that is the same method. So after here, that is, let me just make sure that it is a screenshot. So obviously it is a screenshot. So let's go again and let's define this function. So first thing I want to send is the string that is going to encode. And if you just remember from the previous lecture, if you want to send any information to the client side, you have to just send it while encoding, and if the client basically want to just read that information, they have to decode it first. So I want to give this string that is a screen information so as to just execute that command in the client. But for now, first of all, let's go back to our client side, and now let's see how we can just get that responses. So let's go to the client, which is our Windows, and this is the same machine which we are just running this payload. So let's go over here, and you could see this was for the site, which was basically the message that is sent from the server. Now the message will be the screen, and if you see here, we just pass the message that is encoded as a screen. That means we have to catch that message first here. So let's go back and let's get that message. So I'll just say elif the message that is sent, and that should be str data. And in this case, we don't need to just get anything from here because it is a simple command. And if it is the case, that is, if that is a screen, again it should be with the double quote, and if it is the screen, we are going to do something that is calling screenshot. So this is also the method that we haven't created, so let's create here after maybe the message box or before message box. So let's create this method that we just shown here, that we just called basically. So I'll just say screenshot is the method, and here we have to create the screenshot taking mechanism. So in order to take the screenshot on the Windows, you have to first install some package, and that package should be your PySqueeze packet, and it should PySqueeze, let me say SCREEZD, maybe this is the package, Py and SCREEZD. So in order to install, you can simply open your command prompt or a terminal. You'll just type python yum inst and pip is the packet, and basically pip is the package, and we'll just say install PySqueeze. And if I just hit enter, you'll just get this PySqueeze installed on your machine. So first of all, do that, and we'll just import over here. After importing, we have to make use of this PySqueeze in our application, that is this screenshot. So let me just give a tab, and we'll just make use of this PySqueeze first, which is the module, and we have the method that is screenshot method. So this will be our method, and in this screenshot you have to first give this temporary, which is the folder where you want to just store the screenshot, and after that you have to give the name, and let me say yes.png. and now let's close this first. Now we have captured the screenshot, so let's do something, that is to send the screenshot information back to the server. So you know that we need to use this send method, which is lambda method right created over here from this object of socket, and we have to first encode it because the information is sent over the client, and basically it is sent from the one PC to another. That means we have to first encode that information, otherwise it is not going to work. And as always, we have to first let me say some information, and that will be receiving screenshot, and this information will be given to the server. And after that I'll just concatenate it with maybe /n, the new line. So let's put the /n over here, and now I'll just type the /n, and let's concatenate this with again, that is basically our file information, and in this case that is going to be the file size. So I want to give the information about the file size, that is this message is sent over the server, so it should be given to the server. So let's concatenate again with the path. It is basically to get the size. So in order to get the size, we have this OS module and path, and we have this get size method in order to get the size of any folder. And here I want to just get the size of that image which is stored obviously in this path, which is /s.png. So we have captured this, and let me first concatenate over here. So what I want is, I want this whole to be the string, and let's close this over here, and we have now the whole message saying that this is to give the information back to the server. So we send from this, that is a client, this whole information saying that we have received the screenshot and the file size, and we just got this file size from this OS module, which is this, because we have stored this image now, which is a screenshot, in this temporary folder, and we just got it from there. So next thing is we want now again the more information. So let's get some more information before just we can just close this. So let me just go back here, and now let me just make that is tab over here, and after just giving the tab, I want again to concatenate with, let's go over here, and I want again to concatenate with these bytes. Okay, again bytes, because that is the size, and let's give again that is the new line, and I'll just say okay, we have to first concatenate it, and now I'll just give the new line, and now again I will just say please wait information, something like that. So I'll just say please wait, the screenshot is on the way. So this will be the information that will be given, that is, you can see we have now concatenated all of this information, and we are just sending this through the send command of the socket package. So we are encoding that information and we are sending over this. So let's close this first, and now next thing what you want to do over here is we have to make the object of the pic or a picture. So let's go over here and make this object of this picture, and it should be done by opening that picture, and basically it is stored in this location. So first of all we have to get that location. So it is in this yes.png file, and let me just close this first, and after that the next thing is basically the next argument to this open will be the mode which you want to open this file, and I want in the read mode, and it is in binary, and this is to send a file across the connection. And the next thing I want to do is I want to sleep for a certain time. So first let me just close this, And after that I'll just make use of this time, and let's sleep for maybe 1 second, because we want, after sending this pic, or basically after just opening that pic, we want certain time before sending it to the server. So let's send now, that is the object, and it should be with the read method. So we just send here, and let's close now this object of the picture with this close method. So we have completed our screenshot method right here. So what we just did here was we just made use of this PyScreens module, which is going to take a screenshot and it will store in this location. We send by just this information. Basically this is only the information, this is not a picture. So we are just sending this, that is encoded information, saying the receiving screenshot and the file size, and it is also saying the file size in a bytes, and it is giving the information, please wait for the screenshot. And after that we just opening that image, and that will be your object picture, and basically that object picture will be sent from here by just reading that picture. After you just send that to the server, it will just close it right here. So we have finished just making, or basically reading the screenshot from the client. Now it's time to get back to our Kali Linux and see that how we can just read that screenshot that is sent from this client. So we have already sent this command, that is screen, in the beginning of the lecture, and we have seen now that we have also created maybe this screenshot. Yes, we have created this screenshot method, which is going to encode that information of a screen, and it is going to give that to the client. Now we have sent, or basically we have received this client response by sending this picture. So they have sent us this picture object. Now let's do something with that picture object in our Kali machine, which is our server. So I want to store that in this string client response. So there is a response. So first of all, as always, we have to decode that information. We have the function to do that, and we have also first to receive. So let's receive that, and it will be first int buff, and this is to get the info. Now next thing is to print that info, and I'll just say print, and I'll have to first give maybe some space. Okay, what is happening here? I'll just give maybe this /n, and here what we're going to do is we have to now first of all concatenate these str responses, and that is string client response. So basically what is this? This is the information about the picture. So next thing is, let me just clear this buffer again. So this will be your picture now, and here I have to now loop. So first of all, I'll just make maybe integer counter variable to loop in this range of from 0 to length of this string or str client response that is sent from the client. So we are just looping around that data, and after that I'll just check for the digits. So I'll just say if the str, that is the client response, and let's see if it's integer counter, and let's see if it is the digit. So this is the method to check if that is digit or not. In that case, what you are going to do is you have to get the buffer. So I'll just say int buffer, and you could see here this is the buffer which was the string, and we are going to concatenate it with the string client responses, and that should be integer for the counter, which is just sent from here. So now we have got the buffer, and we could see here straightly that we are getting the responses, or basically this is to get the responses from the client and looping on that responses. And first of all, you could have seen that this could be the string because this is the client responses, but we want this string converted into the integer because it is an integer buffer. So we have to typecast it to the integer. So let me just say integer buffer now again, and first of all we'll just typecast it to the integer, and we'll just it should be integer buffer again. And now after you typecast it successfully, you have to make your file, which is your image. So let's make this integer, or basically the image. So image should be, so we have to create the file name for that image. So one way to create the file name for the image is using this time module, because we can make images name costumed with the time, so that two time, or basically two images, do not collide. So if you take one screenshot at a time, it will just have different in the different time, so that each of these screenshot do not collide. So I'll just say strf time. We have seen how to create the format from the time. So now let's make this format from this string time. So basically this is the way to format your string file with the time. So first of all, this is the percentage year. So I'll just give the first year, and this /m is for the month, and or percentage d is for the date, and I want also the hour and minute and second. So we'll just format it, the string file or the image file, with these characters, which is basically the year, month, date, hour, minute, second. After that we have to give the extension, which will be obviously the png file. So we have now created the string file now in this format. Now let's get the data and write to it. So first of all, we have to get the screen data, which is basically our screenshot, and in order to do that you have to use receive all method, not the receive method, because it will allow to get whole lot of data or a bunch of buffer data. So here we have to pass integer buffer that you just received. So next thing is to get that object pick. So you could see that we have sent this object pick from the client in a minute ago. So we have to open that first. So that should be your string file, and it should be now right, that is in the binary mode. So we have opened here. Now let's write that to the screen data or screen file. So in order to write, you have this object first, which is obviously the object pick, and we have this write method, which is going to write your screen data. So we want to write this screen data, and similarly we want to close our object pick, and that is done right here. So I have done the two statement execution on the same line, and it is valid in the Python. And you can also check this in the ideally. If I just say that if I want to execute the two command in the same line, that is, let me say a is 4 and let me say b is 6, this is completely valid. You can say a has been assigned, b has been also assigned. So this is what we did over here. So now we have successfully got our screenshot. We have written that screenshot to that file, and we got the response from here in the form of buffer. So basically you could see that the images are in the form of the strings, so they are in the form of digits basically, and you can see they are in the sequence of digit. We saw that digit and we just converted it into here. We just get that format for the screenshot, and we just receive that every data, and we just open that file over here. So after you just write that file, we have to just give the message back to the user, or basically to the server, saying maybe done. And let me just concatenate this with our /n. So before that we have to just close over here, and I'll just say /n, which is the new line. And now what I'm going to do is I want that total byte received should be also printed over here. So it is a string again. So I'll just say total bytes received. So this will be information. So in order to see the total bytes, we have already used this, that is os.path.getSize. We have used this method in the case of our client 2, so you can use that, and this is for your string file, which is your image, which is right here. So now we have concatenate over here, and let me just concatenate with maybe bytes here, with the message saying bytes, and we have completed. So before that, let me also convert it or typecast it to the string. So I have completed over here. So we have completed our screenshot method 2. So now what we have done here is we created this screenshot method in both of our server and a client. So server is going to receive that data, it is going to format it, and it is going to write or basically get that data. It will going to write that in the project folder, and in the case of the client, it is going to use some module to take the screenshot. It is going to send some information, it is going to open that image, it is going to send that image object, and it is going to do that sort of information in the case of client. But in the case of server, it is going to just request that response, and basically after getting that response, it is going to just check for the data in that buffer, and based on that buffer it is going to format, and it is going to write your screen data successfully to the server folder. So let's see if this works or not. So first of all, as always, we have to we have some error over here. So let's see what the error is about. So maybe over here. So yes, we haven't closed our print method. So we have closed our print method, so we'll just run our backdoor from here. So let me quickly run our backdoor.py file. It is showing us some error, catching classes that do not inherit. So we did a small mistake over here. So if you just see, this was the command, and this is not the command to be executed in the main menu. So let's grab this, because this is the command to be executed after we just interact over here. So let's go down, and it is where we should just paste this, because this is the send command, and this is to be pasted right here. So we'll just get the screenshot, and the screenshot will be executed. And let's run this command now. Run the backdoor, stop and rerun. Let's see if this works. It is showing some error again. Okay, this error may be because I have not connected. That is my interface. So let's see if that is the error. ifconfig, and okay, now it has been connected. I had mistakenly removed this WLAN 0 interface before, so now we have this host. So just remember, you should have this connected over here. Otherwise you can also use this Ethio 0, it doesn't matter, but one should be given as a host over there. So in my case it is WLAN 0, that means I have the network adapter inserted externally, so I have made use of this wireless card. So let's go over here. Now I think there should not be any worry. So let's run this backdoor, stop and rerun, and let me just resize this. Okay, it is listening on the port now. So let's go to window machine, and this is our backdoor that we just created. Let's save this again, and let's go over here. Let's open our CMD as usual, and now let me just navigate to desktop where we have this backdoor file, and I'll just say python and backdoor.py. let me just hit enter, and let's see if this works or not. So it is showing that connection established. Let me list all the IP, and obviously we have connected only one machine. And let me first interact with this 0 machine. Now you have connected to this machine. Now first of all, what you need to do is, let's see that command to take the picture, and that was inside here. Maybe it is in the send command, so it is over here, and -p was for the screenshot. So let's see if this works or not. So I'll just say -p, let's hit enter. It is not giving the information, so that should be okay. Let's go over here. Okay, we don't have any problem in the client side, it is the problem only in the server. So let's go to our screenshot, that is the method, and I just forgot why we just created. Okay, we had created over here, and that was the method which was right here. So I think instead of decode UTF, it may be okay. What was error? Let's see again. Name decode UTF-8 is not defined. let me just hit one more time. Let's see if this works again. --p. Name decode is not defined. So what does this really mean? So let's go over here, UTF-8. So this name, which is decode UTF-8, is not defined. So it is just saying that this is not defined. So what we can do is simply, it may be because of this method. So we are getting error in here. And it should be UTF-8, decode UTF-8, not only decode UTF. So let's see if this works. List. Okay, I'm just interacting. Okay, now we're inside maybe. Let me run it one more time. Let's go to the client side and let's run it again. Let me just navigate to the desktop, and here you have to again execute your backdoor, and it should have now got the connection. Let's interact with the 0, and now let me say --p. So what error it is giving? So it is alright because the method is decode UTF. So let's go over here again, and obviously the method is decode UTF. It is okay. So let's go again and let's search for maybe decode UTF. So everywhere we have written the decode UTF, not the decode UTF-8, but what it has given us, okay, it was over here, it was in the screenshot. Okay, so let's remove that decode UTF in the screenshot, and now let's run it again. So let me just see it run our backdoor. Let's stop and rerun, and it will now again has the connection already. So let's list out again, and it will show the connections. Let's interact first. So let's interact to this ID. Let's see the type selection. So let me just make it larger. So type selection will be P, which is for the peak, and let me hit enter. Then now it is, maybe it is not giving any information about the peak. So let's see if we got any error or something, because it should have sent us information like done or something, total bytes received. So let's go over here in the client side. So there is also nothing in the client side. So let's go on our project folder and see if we just get that picture or not. So I have this in the, maybe here in the home PyCharm project. So this is our folder. We have not got anything, so the script is not working. So let's go back again, and though that is the command we are going to execute, which is over here. We're getting the info, we are getting basically the screen. So let's see what the error could be over here. So that is --p, the command that is sent. So if the command is this one, it will just see the screenshot, it will just encode the screen. Let's run this one more time, and I'll just say backdoor.py. Let's see if this works or not. So we have already have the connections. Let's see the type selection again. It should work, but I'm really confused why it is not working. So let's get the peak. Okay, now it is working. So what I just did was I simply go to the file and I invalidate the cache and restart, and it works. So basically we are getting this screenshot. So this was the same method. So if I just go over here, that is our screenshot, and you could see this is the method that is going to get us the responses, and basically based on that responses we are getting this receiving screenshot, which was the same information that, if you just see, this was the same information that we just passed from here. So let's go over here, or basically it is just in the client side. It is in the client side in here. Okay, let me open it, and this is the same information. It is saying that receiving screenshot and the size and everything. So it is sending this information first. Now if you go back to the Kali Linux, and if I just go here and open this project folder, which is our PyCharm, and I have my PyCharm project in the home, you could clearly see over here. Let me open this, and this is our project folder. If I just go to the PyCharm, you could see this is our Mac changer, which is right here. This is our project folder, and I have only one project, so let me just open it. So you could see this is the screenshot that we just took. So this is our window machine. So in the time of screenshot I had opened, okay, it is Kali. So at the time of screenshot I had opened only this, so that is only this part, or basically CMD was opened. So it took that screenshot, and you could see this Kali Linux had the screenshot. Now you could run now anytime, and basically it will just give you the screenshot. So if I want, maybe let's go to the window machine, and let's see if I'm just surfing to some internet maybe, and I'm just going to do some information. Maybe I'm just searching something on the Google, and if I just say something like car, and let's see some images, and if I just go now back, and basically I want that to be opened because it will get the screenshot. So let's go back to the Kali Linux. Let's run this one more time, the backdoor that we just created, and it is now listening to the port, and obviously we have to run here. So I'll just go over here, and let me execute one more time with this cmd command. And now what I want to do is run our backdoor. So I'll just run this backdoor real quick, and now our backdoor is running. Let me just close this one. Let's go back to the Kali. You could see the connection. You can list the connection again. Okay, we got the invalid choice, so let's list this connection. You can now interact this connection with this I and the ID, and after that I want the pick, that is with this p command. Let me just hit enter. It will get the information, and it will just say okay, done, you have just get the information about the screenshot. Let's go back to our PyCharm project folder, which will be right here, and this is the new screenshot. Let me just open this. You could see the car picture, which is the window image. If I just go over here, and this is the window machine, this is the Kali machine which has this screenshot. So we made this backdoor to take the screenshot from the client and send back to our Kali machine. So this was the perfect example of a simple payload or a simple backdoor which will just be wrapped in a such way that client won't get suspicious about the backdoor, but that will just give more information about the server and more information to the server, so that the hacker will get the information about the client and it can break its system. So this will be wrap for this lecture. We will make more payload in the next lecture. See you in the next one.